And we're back. Unfortunately, last week I was under the weather, unfortunately. So we did have to postpone the session for that previous evening, but we are back tonight. And to either the audience's pleasure or dismay, this is the second time you're catching me in a row. So, yay!
Whee!
For those who are...
Yeah.
that's gonna be stuck in my head.
Wills?
Yeah. It's gonna end up just coming out. Give me a squill check.
Oh,
If you say that, I'm gonna.
Your DM Squiggy Squills.
Squiggy Squills. Oh God.
And yes, I am messaging Caitlin that.
Can I give you like a negative inspiration? I don't know. Nah, I'm just kidding. But
you want negative inspiration? Ask him for a check he can't do.
Gotcha. You're going to try to blow your nose, and it's going to be a medicine check that's like a DC 21. Gotcha.
See, that's overkill.
I love it.
See, at least somebody likes my pettiness level.
As a fellow DM, pettiness is what we run on.
2.
Oh, man. Okay, so starting off tonight's session, we are going to be doing a question of the session. And this one is brought to us by Geoffrey. So the question is, if your character had to break out of prison with another one in the party, and you were handcuffed together, and before you ask, no, you cannot be handcuffed to yourself, who would it be? So, we're going to start off with, this time I think I'm going to start off with Saris. Saris.
Okay. Probably seems counterintuitive given her history, but I think Saris would prefer to be handcuffed to Levin. He understands the value of discretion and subtlety, and he'd be like a good escape partner. Plus, between the two of them, they can probably get the handcuffs off at some point.
Good point. All right. Levin, how about you?
Well, on that one, Levin would have to answer specifically for Saris. She has the requisite skills to be able to avoid detection. She's high on improvisation. Not to the point of actual chaos, and she understands that if we're stuck together, we have to work together and won't draw attention.
Ooh.
Good combo. Okay. Yami, who would you be handcuffed to?
Can I go last, please? Because I have a few things to say.
Okay, sure. We're just gonna pause for you for a second. Geoffrey.
Okay. So, my answer is going to be non-conventional, and I think that my thought process kind of explains why. Because the best people, like, in theory to be with would be Levin or Saris, primarily because Levin is very pragmatic. He knows what needs to be done, what has to be done. Saris is very sneaky. She can, get into places that she's not meant to be. All of that. The thing is, in those instances, I think that Levin would at some point disagree with Geoffrey in a way to go, and then Geoffrey would just kind of be like petty about the entire thing and annoyed. And Saris would absolutely like let Geoffrey die. Like no question. She would let him like the ceiling was coming down on the ground. She would like slide out, and then like Geoffrey would get crushed underneath, and she'd just pull up the hand out.
Yeah.
So,
At some point, it's just easier to take your hands off and deal.
Yami would absolutely get us cut immediately. Not for anything specific that he does, just the presence that he has. He's not stealthy. He would be good to like break into a prison to try to get someone out because you can't be subtle there. But
It'd be great to break things.
And Fennec is the chaotic variable that's impossible to control, and always except for one, being that he is so small that Geoffrey could carry him like Luke carries Yoda, and just kind of like control the direction at the very least. In every situation, Geoffrey would have to rely on someone else. In the Fennec situation, I feel like he could at least like intellectually manipulate him into being like, how about you just like get on my back, I'll carry you, and my hand will be in a weird position, but at least I can direct us in where we're going. So
he'd be like a turret.
Basically, he'd have Fennec on him as like a turret.
Geoffrey would have to tolerate the phrase "Go forth, noble steed" constantly.
I mean, better than dying underneath a trap that Saris lets me die under.
I love your faith in her willingness to let you die.
Lets you die in or makes you die in?
No.
Whichever's faster.
I don't think that she would actively betray Geoffrey, but should something happen, she's gonna be like, well, I mean, my life is more important than your life because I value my own life, so I'm going to let you die. Like that's kind of how I figure that'll turn out.
It's not an unfair assessment.
Geoffrey gets crushed. Saris shrug.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm free.
Basically, yeah.
Fennec, how about you?
So, honestly, Geoffrey's explanation was pretty spot on. Fennec would probably go with Geoffrey. Because he knows what he's doing. He's quick thinking, but also kind of goes with the flow. So it would just be kind of like, okay, we got to go. Oh, all right. And it's just usefulness and quick thinking. And let's be honest. I mean, it's not that Geoffrey's not subtle, but he doesn't like he can adapt where he alluded to. Levin and Saris would just kill him. And if they're going to kill him, they are for sure going to kill Fennec. Especially if Saris is going to get caught. So Fennec would happily join hands with Geoffrey.
Alrighty, good to know. Let's see how dear old Dad feels about that. Speaking of
I'm not gonna
Dad,
lie, I was a little hurt, but thank you. But you know what it is? I feel like so all right. It's up to me now, right?
yeah, it's your turn.
So Yami, I think I'm like the neutral factor to everybody because everybody just knows me as to, hey, how you doing? Hit and smash, whatever. But for Yami, I personally have to say, I kind of like Yami. I can't choose specifically anyone because everybody has their own talent. So make it short and simple and sweet. So for Geoffrey, he's very like technological. So I know. So Geoffrey with prep time would be amazing. So if I know if I'm in a cell with Geoffrey and he has some tools, we're getting out. With Saris, it's gonna be more so like I know we're still getting out, more of a sneaky way. With Levin, we most likely probably will talk our way out calmly and subtly. And with Fennec, I think I would just let Fennec lead just to see where it goes. Like, cause I know we'll probably get out, but with Fennec, I don't know what direction we we get out of. So I don't know. Like, so for Yami, I think everybody has their viable
Yeah, but
resource.
you can't cop out of this one. You got to pick one. Everybody else did.
If I have to, all right.
Gotta
If I have
pick
to
one.
pick one. If I have to pick one, it would be Fennec.
Alrighty.
It would be Fennec because I feel like whether it's blow our way out, talk our way out, or something our way out, Fennec would be the one to figure it out.
Something your way out, huh? All right.
Exactly. I feel like Fennec would find a viable way to figure his way out, even if it's coercing one of the other players.
So, just for the record, Fennec has not talked his way out of anything yet. He's talked himself into everything.
That you have.
Also, can Cogfried be an option?
No.
Oh God.
For the same reason, Mei wasn't an option. Not a direct member of the party.
Fennec didn't really think of her.
I'm sorry. I have one question.
She would have been the hand.
Yami, you think Levin. Now, this is coming from the lowest charisma character in the party saying the second lowest charisma character in the party is going to talk his way out of prison.
Well, not...
I appreciate your optimism.
I was going to say, you know why? Because you're just like so level-headed. I figure it would just work out.
You do realize that if stealth doesn't work, like, his solution is kill everybody in the way, right?
So on that point, though,
now that you bring that up, but anyways, I digress.
Levin, on that, you're the lowest charisma. I think I'm the highest with a 19.
Oh yeah.
I have a +7, and I again have talked myself into everything.
Oh yeah.
It's kind
so
of,
there's hope.
I kind of equate this to like the climate change scientists in 2008 that was like, guys, we should probably do something about this. And everyone's like, screw you. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's being like level-headed, persuasive, but not charismatic enough for anyone to really care.
I feel like Geoffrey, I feel like with enough prep time, Geoffrey will build something to get us out of the situation at that point. That's why I have to say that.
Yeah, backpack for Fennec.
Make his way out of prison with a box of scraps. Got it.
All right, so we got MacGyver over there. So, with that, who would like to help us out with a quick little recap from notes about what happened in the previous session?
Just one quip. Tony Spark.
Deeply sized.
Okay, so you can add an inspiration to your player pool. That was worth it.
So we started the session where Fennec was allowed to mingle.
Yes.
Oh, so this is how we get into the jail cell. That's where that came. This is what the question. We were introduced to the wife. Oh wait, was this the last?
Yeah. You were introduced to the wife.
The wife and her party planner own, and I have do not like as a note for him.
That was session, or that was 2 sessions ago that we were introduced to her.
Yeah, the 26th. So did I have? Although I may not have enough.
No. I can take it away. I have some.
Yeah.
Well, when the session started, like this sort of ballroom gala thing started going on. People started dancing. Geoffrey broke off to patrol partially and let Cogfried fly around, and he immediately bashed into a pillar. And Geoffrey looked very foolish, trying to be like, I swear this never happens. Then 2 masked dudes walked up to everyone individually to meet with what's his nugget? The guy that hired us, whose name is
Horden.
Yeah.
Horden.
Whatever it is. He wanted to meet with everyone, bring everybody by him. We learned in that little bit that the halfling is the party planner of this whole thing. He was one that suggested hosting this whole thing to show off the necklace. Then I have written that an elf guy approached. He's a noble from Valinor, and his name is Arender. I don't have any notes on him, so I think that was very brief. Levin went to kind of protect the ladies at one point, and that's kind of where my notes end.
Alrighty.
Levin was operating as an assigned bodyguard to the pair of ladies. Arendir showed up at House Orion on order of the High King of Valinor. Levin excused himself to go have a brief conversation with him once he broke off.
And then shortly you did return after. You guys, I do believe, were kind of trying to meet up with each other. Fennec and Geoffrey, you started planning on causing a ruckus, I believe. Did you set off some sort of sparklers or something along those lines?
No, that was Gearfried letting Cogfried fly around.
Okay.
And I think I used prestidigitation to make it make some noise, and then he bashed into a pillar. That was
Gotcha.
Gearfried looked foolish. There was also the necklace transfer. Wifey was wearing the necklace, and then I believe Aun took it back into display and put it in. And I know Gearfried was suspicious that wait, maybe he's marking it while he's doing this if it doesn't look like it's been moved. There was that whole bit.
Yep. And all of you were suspicious. In fact, most of you did converge within that room as that happened. And then I believe she had come, or you had followed him back to the table. And I believe, I'm getting a little bit fuzzy of this. But somebody had come to verify that the necklace was back, and that he had said, I think, Fennec, you were cursing at him, possibly.
I mean, I was engaged in a conversation with him.
Yes.
Levin had to step in.
In fact, I believe, Levin, did you escort him away from the situation?
I resolved to the Lord of the House that I would talk with the individual and resolve this situation.
Sounds accurate.
After having the Diorian confirmed the presence of the necklace and its identity as the necklace in question because of chain of custody issues.
Yep. Because, Fennec, you were hurling accusations towards this individual because he had mentioned that he had recognized you from Sharn.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's about where we left off. You guys are all kind of meandering around the party. The Arender, or the emissary from Valinor, was attempting to inquire for Maylee's hand in a dance, which Saris very briskly denied. And then I believe at some point when Levin returned, you and Maylee... No, that was earlier. That was in the previous session. All right, So with that, you are going to be meandering around the party. You have Aun, who had just made his way back to the group. So he is now sitting with the House Orion. What would you like to do?
Levin's going to do a quick scan of the room to see who has their attention on what, and to reconfirm the positions of the party members.
Alrighty. So, Fennec, we're going to say, I believe... Are you still on the map? Yeah, you're still on the map.
Mm-hmm.
You're over there with Gearfried. What are you doing after this altercation with Aun?
I believe when we left off, he was just relaying to Gearfried that Owen had mentioned the Warforged, and there was something about my being my concern. I don't have the specifics on that.
So we're just going to take it from after that. So you're still, I'm assuming, festering.
Yes,
Over...
he's kind of like doing the whole like rambling, like the like Harry in Home Alone, like like he's just sputtering.
Hey, Fennec,
Yeah.
Fennec.
What?
We have a saying back where I'm from: poor tempers temper poorly. Be mad about this later. All right, I mean, as little as I really want to be here at this point, we still do need to, focus on our job.
I'm telling you, that little twerp, I don't trust him.
Neither do I. I think he's. I mean, to be honest, I think he's having an affair with our boss's wife. But that's neither here nor there right now. We can ruin his reputation and do whatever later. Right now, we just need to get through tonight and make sure this necklace isn't fucked with. And I think that little bastard did fuck with it, but I don't have any way to prove it at the moment. So I'm just going to try to keep an eye on him. So, where is the little guy?
Last I... Oh, were you asking me or the DM?
DM.
Okay. So he's sitting over here, where he was sitting with the House Deorian head.
And where's the bar?
Let's say that the bar would be... There would be one bar here.
Okay.
Another one on the other side.
And Geoffrey's already been to one of these where he gave a guy a tip. Was it the first one or the second?
First one.
Okay. Geoffrey will look at Fennec and then say, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go try to take a look at this guy. There's a little bit of a vantage point near the bar. I'll order some hard to make drink and see what I can see.
Okay. I will mingle.
All right. Well, I will grab you your drinks, sir. And Geoffrey's going to walk over to the bar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chucklebottom.
Of course, sir. And I don't know if anyone's doing anything while Geoffrey's walking over there.
Yep, we're going to be circling around. So, Yami, what are you doing at this time?
I was just gonna say, so Yami would have been, the last time, obviously, just making sure everybody's okay. So can I ask for to roll a perception to see if I see anything out of the ordinary, anything, different from at least from what's that guy's name? The guy that's a little too close. Yeah, the one that's too close. Like ever since I've seen him with her and the way he's been acting, I've been keeping an eye on him, but also general surroundings.
Are you talking about Ruse?
Yes, the halfling, the one that's like always with the misses. I would. She still has a necklace on, correct?
No, it's been put back.
Okay, all right. So I would have kept an eye on until then. So yeah, my gaze would be towards the necklace. So I guess a general perception check just to see the surrounding area.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that now. No, she wasn't too fond of when he first. She was like, stay over there. You said perception, right? Rolling now. I got should pop up. Jesus. Nothing good.
You notice that there seems to be a increase in movement towards that room now because the necklace was brought back. So as you're kind of taking a general look around, you see people heading from around to start heading into that room.
Okay, real quick, is Levin where he's at right now, currently on the map?
Levin, is that an accurate location for your token?
I would have escorted Diorian back towards his where he was having his conversation earlier, but I would have been making my way towards Saris and Melee afterwards, so I'd be more accurately probably somewhere thereabouts.
Perfect. All right, so yeah, Yami would again doing what Yami does. So I'm gonna kind of like just try to subtly walk with the crowd and into the room. My eyes are strictly on the necklace because that's our job.
So, I'm assuming you are overtly watching people.
Yes, so I would be exactly where I'm at, and everybody walking into the room. I would probably be heading into the room if the majority is heading into the room.
Gotcha. So you notice that as you're following after them with this hawk-eyed expression, that they start looking around and scoffing at this presence as if accusing them of doing something. So you notice that there's murmuring of, this guard is just terrible. I think we're going to have to complain. But you are able to follow
tilt my
them
hat
in.
and go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you are able to follow them in.
Okay. So as they all look at me, I'm gonna tilt my hat and do that little sparkle. Not the one that flares, but I'm sorry, Geoffrey, how was it described again for the little hat tip? It goes ding.
A glint?
Sparkle in your eye.
There you go. Thank you. It was like a ding. So every time someone comes, I'm like ding, ding.
You just get disgusted looks.
Fair enough.
Moving forward, Saris, what would you be doing during this time?
I think that the last we left off, Saris was like dancing around the hall with Melee, trying to make sure like the main exit was sort of. She was in a position to like intercept anyone that was coming through, keeping an eye on while trying to look inconspicuous and blending in.
Yep. So you are kind of dancing around with Melee, moving. Give me a performance check.
Not a problem.
All right.
It was one of my better skills.
You mean
Born
your
to do
skills?
this. Squills. Mad squills, yo.
That's right.
Check out.
It's now in my
this.
head. Thank you very much.
And because I am who I am.
Very
There
nice.
you go.
You possibly, to the antithesis of if you were attempting to blend in, the prowess that you and Melee are demonstrating as you dance around is kind of draws attention to a degree.
No, I can pop and lock with the best of them.
I see that. 21. Levin, you are making your way over to them. You see that the crowd around them is kind of gathering as they're dancing. So one of the things that you notice is that the crowd is currently splitting between heading towards the room and watching the pair dancing in the center.
Levin would choose to keep off of the main floor to the side. He is being overt with being present in the area, though, because at this point in the party, people would recognize him as the one in, minding these two. But past that, he will cast an occasional glance to see, just clocking faces on who's going in and who's coming out of the room. He's not trying to go into heavy assertions. He's trying to keep up appearances at this moment.
Alrighty.
So let me just mosey him off that floor.
Yep. All right, so I think that I've gotten to everybody. So we're gonna start back off with Geoffrey.
Gearfried will walking up to the bar. He's going to like kind of keep an eye on Auden. Just kind of like walking up. He's gonna basically pretend to focus on the bartender, but kind of be continuously side eyeing what's going on. So he walks up and he's gonna be see you again. I'd like to get some drinks for myself and my master.
Of course. What can I do for you?
Well, for myself, I'll have a ginny and tonic, and my master will have a white Russian. Actually, Bloody Marion.
Sure. And he will begin to prepare the drinks.
And
Jeez, why don't you just ask for a pina colossus?
I hate you all.
And while he's making it, Gearfried will just continuously kind of active perception check on Aun and them to see what's going on there.
I was going to say, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Boop. Hey, high number.
Yay! Watch, last
Not
one of the
high
game.
enough.
Yeah, okay.
DC was 19.
You have one D&D.
It was 18.5. You just missed. There are no decimals, folks. But with the 18, you're going to hear a couple of jives and murmurs, and you're going to hear Owen kind of specifically say, and they call him Sir. And
Yeah,
the lady of the House of Ryan kind of laughs and cackles along with him. And as you look at the head of the household, he just looks bored.
Can you blame him?
I mean, if I were with her, I'd want to kill myself too. So, So Gearfried will just be keeping that up and trying to like see if he can hear anything of note while this is going on, while these drinks are being made. And that's kind of all he's doing until his drinks are done.
Alrighty. With that, we're going to bounce over back to Yami. Yami, you're seeing the influx of people, and you are, as said, for 10, 15 people as they pass. You're going to be tilting your hat each and every time, yes?
Yep.
You begin to draw the attention of one of the guards. Excuse me, sir. Can you stop with the noise? People are complaining that you're interrupting the bards.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm just trying to do my civil duty and greet everyone. Make sure I clock everyone as well.
You are here as a guard. You are not here as a hostess. And if you were being a hostess, you would have already been fired.
You don't like my hat? Ding! That's what I hear.
He is looking at you with the expression that he wants to rip the hat off of your head and stomp on it. But at this point, you are no longer looking towards the door specifically. His attention is drawn you so that your back is now technically turned. What is your passive perception?
My passive is 12.
Noted. So as this is happening, you do still have the individuals who are moving in and out of the room.
Well, I'm going to be a good guard and do my job, and I'm going to walk into the room away from him.
Well, hold on. We're going to bounce over to somebody else because we're going to get back to the fact that you think you're walking away from one of the guards here. Levin.
Yes.
What would you like to do, seeing as Yami is becoming distracted by the guard who is kind of chastising him for, and you would have seen as you were clocking, him utilizing the hat to create that glinting sound. That one. Yes.
Physically, he's not responding. Mentally, he is wincing every time.
Okay. Good, I'm not the only one.
Blame Geoffrey. He gave me this power.
Now,
But Levin is going to try to inaudibly signal Saris and basically just draw her attention towards the stairwell. But he's not going to interrupt and step on the floor to stop what she's doing. Just signaling. That's it.
Yep. She will focus her attention on the stairwell
alrighty.
while dancing up an amazing storm.
Well, Levin's of a mind where Saris is either going to take advantage of the situation or take advantage of Yami in the situation.
I love it.
So, Saris, you also keep hearing this dinging sound as you are flowing through the moments, and it becomes more identifiable as the song comes to a graceful close. The next song that picks up is a jig, but in that instance, because of the flow of traffic, you would notice that the sound is consistently going ding, 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 until it suddenly stops.
Like a cowbell.
More cowbell.
I mean, it kind of... It was a little bit disconcerting as we finished our dance number, and I'm holding Melee over my arms, my hands on her waist. She's got her arms spread out. Then I put her on her feet. Our little toady halfling friend is still here.
Yep, he is still over here.
Yep. That's what I thought. I will sort of like just kind of bow to everyone who watched us dance as a little bit of a thanks and a acknowledgement of their attention and grateful for their kindness, quote unquote. Doesn't really like these people. And we'll bow out and then gravitate towards over here. This is the only way into the room, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll lead Melee over here with me and lean up against the wall and just kind of raise an eyebrow to Levin now that we're kind of away from the people so that he can like stand next to me and like tell me stuff.
At the nearest available convenience, Levin will circle the room to get to them, but I'll wait.
Okay. Yeah.
Alrighty. Fennec, what would you like to do?
So throughout all this, Fennec would have been kind of making the rounds, mingling, but he would have been making his way towards Yami, but would have stopped when he saw the interactions with the guard.
We're going to pause you for a second. As you're walking around mingling, you're going to notice that after your scene that was caused, people seem to be shying away from your presence. The people that do come up to you and ask you basically, so what you got against him?
Who?
Guy you were starting with.
The little one?
Sure.
Or you wouldn't be able to see. it's, we're at a respectable party, and I wasn't getting the respectable feel.
But you were the only one screaming.
Well, yes, but does one have to be yelling to be disrespectful?
I suppose not, but does that seem kind of the opposite of what you were just saying? You were trying to receive respect, but you didn't show respect either.
Oh, I've shown the respect. But the people who are doing the disrespecting, they got to keep their little nose clean. So they, hide because they're too cowardly to show who they really are. Me, I am who I am. You get what you get. I'm not ashamed of it. People don't like that. People don't like hearing what they don't. I let them know.
Well,
If I have offended you in any way, you'll figure it out.
it's quite interesting. You're not from here, are you?
I am not.
So then how did you get the title Sir Fennec?
Good deeds.
And you're going to notice they just kind of walk off.
It's a long tale. I don't want to bore you.
They're already leaving. Now you're able to move on.
Good talk.
So with that,
So,
you are
yeah.
able to continue moving forward towards the room I believe you said you were going.
He wasn't going into a room. He was just kind of mingling his way over to Yami, but then stopped once he noticed the guards talking to him.
Ah. Yeah,
So
that
that's
would be
why
reason to
he's a
stop.
little bit off. He's a little bit off from where he is.
Alrighty. So I think we're going to Levin. What are you going to be talking to? What are you mentioning to Saris as you make your way over to her?
You're the only one that hears this. And Levin lets out a long sigh. All right. With that out of the way, it appears that Yami has brought unnecessary attention to himself. I took the time to confirm that the necklace has indeed been returned properly. Did you notice anything while you were out on the floor? Hello?
Saris?
Haha! I was muted. Talking the whole time. No, I didn't really notice anything. Just Porsche people being Porsche idiots. Tripping over themselves to fawn over a stupid rock, which I would love to keep safe. Eyes glint with avarice.
Opinions aside.
Nothing. Haven't really noticed anything other than the verbal daggers being drawn here and there.
Did you want to rescout the room to see if there were any additional exits or entrances?
Sure. I think that is a good idea. Meili. I'll hold out my arm again. Let's take a tour of the room.
And she will take your arm once it's offered.
And we will do like a slow circuit around the room, just kind of taking in like any bits of art or admiring the architecture or the upholstery of the couches or the layout of the room. Anything to just take us around and examine everything and look for any other I wouldn't say secret exits, but maybe like they drew a curtain over a path or something just to kind of keep it out of sight for tonight's event. Anything like that.
Gotcha.
Well, 11 was mentioning it specific to the display room, but if you want to do a general check too.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, she'll probably swing by to the display room as well. Because she does so love that necklace. She would hate to see anything bad happen to it.
As you're
She
doing
treats it like a child.
haven't even touched it yet.
Children are precious.
And I do say yet because I have a feeling that by the end of the next part of this adventure, it's either going to be stolen or it's going to be stolen.
One way or another, it's going to know the freedom outside of this house.
That's what I'm gathering. As you're making or beginning to make your circuit, though, everybody give me a perception check. Your passive is going to be your baseline.
Be stolen or got stolen. One or the other, right?
Ooh, what's 0?
Going with my passive of 19.
Yep.
My passive is 15.
Oh,
You
my
said,
passive is 10. I rolled a 9.
Okay.
You said perception, correct?
Perception,
Correct.
yes.
Okay.
I'll take what I rolled.
Passive.
I was so close to 20 on the roller.
Yeah, I rolled a 10, but I got my passive is 12.
All right, so Geoffrey with a 14, you would be able to hear this. Saris with your passive, you'd be able to hear it. Levin as well with your passive, you'd be able to hear it. Yami, you are just so distracted by this guard who is just really, at some points, if you get fresh with him, he is going to be attempting to take that hat off of your head.
I'm like, you don't like my hat?
But
Oh, God damn.
due to
this
your attention being diverted, you
Mhm.
are not going to hear the crashing sound of glass from inside of that room.
God damn it.
Roger.
Like
The
when you
one
say
that's
the
supposed to be
crashing
watching that room, right?
When you say the crashing sound of glass, do you mean like someone dropped a wine glass or someone's breaking open a display?
It's probably subtly someone's got their elbow wrapped in a towel and is breaking open a display. If
I'm
we're
gonna
using
say-
perception here.
It sounds like large glass breaking, and that's about all I'm going to give you description-wise at this moment. So, you hear it.
So less tink, more crash.
Yeah, it's not a glass. It's definitely not
It's
a
an
glass.
aquarium.
It's the glass.
What would you all like to do? At this point, I'm going to say you guys are able to kind of freely move around the room.
Well, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, Fennec, you didn't hear it, and Yami, this guard's being.
I'm dinging my hat.
He's.
Well-
Oh, you're dinging the hat. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just give me a quick dexterity check. Straight dexterity.
All right, not a save, just a dex roll, right?
Yep, just a straight dex roll.
Okay.
You're gonna nail it.
Ooh, he attempts to take the hat, but as you ding it, you kind of step back enough that he's not able to reach it, but the intent is there. He does have a very irked
He's annoyed.
expression on his face.
Ooh, this mother sucker.
But with that, you guys are now able to move around freely. So, what would you like to do?
I think he's gonna seek out Gearfried to get his drink.
Yep. Fennec didn't hear that though, did he?
Nope,
So-
that's why he's making his way towards you. He sees you.
Gearfried will see you come. So from Gearfried's perspective, is it like shattered glass and he sees Fennec walking up to him?
Pretty much.
Is that like okay? So
Fennec would be
Gearfried
unfazed by the sound of the breaking glass.
Gearfried will kind of look over and then look down, and as he sees him, he'll go, Master Fennec, and then kind of lean down and be like, I think something might be going down right now.
Yes. What? It should be my drink. Where have you been?
The gentleman behind me, I believe, was just finishing up, and I look behind me. Are the drinks done yet?
He's finishing the White Russian. No, not the White Russian. The Bloody Marion, right now.
The bloodied American. Yeah.
Bloody
Bloody
Mary.
Marigan. Okay.
Yes. So Gearfried will look back and like, your drink's just almost done, sir. In a lower voice. But I don't know if you heard that. There it sounded like glass was just crashing, like a display might be being busted open right now.
And with that, we're gonna jump to Saris, Levin, and Melee.
Saris is gonna look at Levin and say, "Watch this entrance in case someone's trying to sneak by. Assume they're not visible. I'm gonna go inspect the display room."
We'll nod.
And I will, and I'll Melee, stay with him.
Sure. And Melee will stay.
And Saris is going to subtly, very assertively, make her way straight into that room. Excuse me.
While she's walking away, Levin will direct Melee a little closer to the wall so that he can better cover the threshold.
Yep.
And I will, I will squeeze past. Just get through that door. Oh, look at that. And just let myself into that room. Going on here, everybody?
So before I describe what's going on there, do me a favor, just step out of that room. Because we're just going to jump back to Yami before you manage to get in. And then I'll give you the description of what you see. So Yami, one of the things that you see is you see that Saris is making beeline right to those stairs and is just kind of blowing past you as this guard is continuing to demand your attention.
Okay, so I would definitely side eye her as I'm still kind of taking note. Like you said before, I just have I'm not really noting, but I'm just clocking people going in and out. So I would see Saris, I'll give her the side eye and all right. So what's your problem with my hat? It's because you don't have a hat. That's what
No,
it is. Does this guard? Mm-hmm.
It's because you're being a nuisance and you're causing a scene. And I've asked you to stop that, and you've continued it anyway.
The hat wants what the hat wants. I can't stop it. But if you want me to stop it, I'll be more subtle.
What you're telling me is your lifestyle is at the whim of a hat? As he looks thoroughly angry.
And I'm going to look at him thoroughly and be like, yes, I'm a Dapper Dan. Have you not heard of us?
I will have to remember to mention this to my employer. And with that, he's going to turn around and walk away. Dapper Dans, right?
The dapperest.
And he is going to make his way back to where he was.
But yeah, I will clock Saris walking in. So as we were having that conversation, I would have kind of side-eyed her and and then as we were.
So I will just say, as a reminder, your back was technically to the stairs. So you weren't able to clock people as readily as you had been.
Okay, so not thoroughly, but I'm pretty sure I will take notice of people obviously walking in.
Saris, as you enter this room, what you see is the entire glass case almost pushed on end and shattered, laying on top of all of these broken shards of glass as an individual a female individual who has been almost shredded on the back, across her back from all
Oh.
of that glass. It looks as if she was pushed.
I step into the room. What's the meaning of this? Who did this?
I have no idea. She was there and then she fell.
I help her up. It's like, I know some healing magics, if it's alright with you.
I would say before that, there is a huge pool of blood underneath her.
Uh-oh.
So I would say, are you sure you want to attempt to help her up?
I will ask her is she conscious?
She is not conscious at this moment, as if she fainted from pain.
Okay, in that case, I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to try and heal her with a cure wounds spell.
As a reminder, she is currently laying in glass where she possibly has glass embedded in her. Are you sure you want to heal wounds?
You're making this very difficult.
Just saying.
You're offering me damned if you do, damned if you don't solutions.
And she does not appreciate.
Fine. You know what? I'll tell the two gentlemen, like, help lift her up gently. I know some healing magics. I can possibly stop the bleeding.
You are going to notice that they will happily help you. As they roll her over, you do see large gashes in various areas along her back, including a large shard that seems to be jutting out from the back to the left or right of the spine. So I guess in like the kidneys areas.
Can I do a medicine skill check?
You could certainly do a skill check.
Okay.
We're making this happen.
It's happening.
Fuck yeah.
25.
Very nice.
I know injuries. I know broken glass. Let's put it that way.
You know that you notice that it's a clean cut, but it's a through and through almost. So it's not out. It's not out. You would be able to see the tip of the glass kind of jutting out through the skin a little bit. So you would
Jesus
see like
Christ.
the pencil point. It's as if as she fell and it broke, her weight forced her onto it. And that's where the large amount of blood is pooling out of from.
She's not dead though.
She is not dead, but she is dying.
Okay, great. I feel like I'm going to very quickly remove this very large glass shard, and then I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on her immediately after.
Okay, before we do that, what are the rest of you doing?
As Fennec hears what Geoffrey has to say about the glass, he's gonna kind of whip his head around, like looking towards that room.
You notice that a scene is occurring and people are starting to swarm. You hear chatter and buzz, but nothing that's substantial.
What do we do now?
Be cautious, and Geoffrey's going to open up the suitcase and don the light armor for the what we're currently passing off as like enchanted clothing items. Geoffrey is going to just open up the briefcase, and according to my thing, I can don or doff armor with just an action. So I'll do that, and then turn it on so it glows slightly, a little less than my other the plate armor. This one just kind of has like, whereas the other one had like actual gears and cogs that move, this one just kind of has glowy motifs of that, but not like super obnoxious, just a little bit like glow in the dark a bit. So put it on, turn it on, and then just kind of move slightly towards this direction. not to like get in the way of the room, but just to kind of like be like, okay, let's make sure no one's getting out of that. Like walking out with a necklace.
There you go. So that's Geoffrey. Fennec. Seeing him donning the armor, seeing the crowd starting to form, what would you like to do?
Cogfree's
He'll move over a little bit. Basically, what Fennec is going to do is keep an eye on Aun. And if he tries to... Basically, he wants to... In Fennec's mind, he wants to run interference to make sure Aun doesn't get near the necklace.
All right. You notice that once they notice you, their conversation stops.
He's just going to give like a little subtle wave and then, just kind of turn, not away from them, but that he's not directly looking.
One of the things that you notice is that they would both give you kind of dirty looks as you wave. That's about it.
Okay.
Levin, you notice a crowd forming.
Yep. 2 words, perimeter sweep. He is scanning the current exit for the room. He's going to be scanning just glances over at the east and west end of the rooms, but focusing his attention on listening for the area immediately around his person.
Noted. All of you would notice that the music the bards are playing seems to be getting louder. With that, Saris, you are attempting to pull... hold on, Yami. You see a crowd forming around you as they're all trying to funnel up the stairs. Some person getting pushed over by somebody else who wanted to get faster. So this one falls over the edge. Thankfully, nothing too serious. But you notice that there's starting to things are about to get chaotic. And for you to get up the stairs is going to be a hassle for you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the hassle and try to walk through the room after hearing the shatter. Well, you said I wouldn't have heard the shattering glass over the...
You did not, but you see the crowd forming and you see them pushing and shoving on the stairs.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to make my way to the door at any means necessary.
Give me a strength check.
Okay, you got it, sir. Something I am good at, finally.
I'm glad
Hopefully.
because we're going to see what you do.
We have inspiration.
Can I? Yeah. You know what? Can I reroll that with my inspiration?
The result has not been told.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Sorry about that. This one was a save. It wasn't the roll.
Same stat.
Okay, so up to you then.
Yeah, it's still going to be the 10. You use the inspiration. With that, you're only able to get about halfway, and you end up basically getting pushed against the railing. So as you're trying to make it up, it's almost as if people are trying to push you over the edge to take your place.
I'm pretty sure I'm stuck there for right now, right?
Yes, you are. Saris. Okay. You're pulling out this
right.
shard of glass, yes?
Yep.
Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Yeah, pulling it out and then casting Cure Wounds immediately.
That's okay. First, you have to pull it out. We're going to see how delicate you are.
Oh, there's no delicate.
No delicate, my ass.
It's not. She just straight out. It's like you don't slide it out slow. You just yank it out quick.
Well, no, I get that. I was just talking about how much damage you end up causing after.
Oh.
So
well,
here,
damage already done. She knows how to work a blade.
Just mutters to herself. It's so weird not to twist.
Go ahead and consume your spell slot for your healing word. You notice that this individual is... There you go. I just forgot which spell she was casting.
Mhm.
You notice that
Heal.
the individual does become stabilized. Breathing is shallow. Her blood is pooling the area. And the entire case is shattered into rough shards.
Okay, I look around while I'm like telling these guys like, she's stable. She's gonna hold up, but she's gonna need a better healer than me. Get her out of here now. She needs she needs a real healer.
You notice that the throngs of people who are in front of the door aren't allowing for an easy way of getting her out.
I immediately draw the hand crossbow from under my frock coat and point it at the crowd to just yell, "Back the fuck up now!"
Interesting. Give me an intimidation check.
Does the crossbow give me any advantage?
No, because you're attempting to intimidate a crowd.
You only get one shot.
Exactly. Then you got to reload.
It's the Kenny.
And if you're holding her, you only get one hand.
Right.
It's a hand crossbow. It's fine.
But the point is, who wants to take that? Who wants to take the shot?
Well, they're packed in right now. Yami's almost getting pushed off the stairs. So once you intimidate them to run backwards, now it's going to be a
They're gonna kill
reversal
him.
stampede. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be
That's
the
fine.
Lion King all over again.
So you're okay. Very nice. With a natural
I will roll 20s
22.
in this house.
I don't like to roll low.
I
Stop
can
taking the high roll.
see that. Whew.
Mission accomplished.
You sufficiently intimidate the first several people, which then does trigger the after effect. So there is almost a stampede-like effect all in this narrow stair area. Yami, give me a strength saving throw.
I feel like this was another one of those damned if she does, damned if she doesn't.
Yeah, but who's it damning?
You
Yami.
said strength.
Both
Yeah,
ways.
strength saving throw.
It's just going to damn Yami.
Alright. So, may the rolls be with me. One time, hopefully.
Just hit double digits.
There you go.
Finally.
You
Finally.
are able to manage to stay on your feet, but you are feeling people pushing their way through you, and it's almost like you grab onto the railing just to stay up as they're panicking and pushing their way away from the door.
With that,
How-
the people carry the woman out.
I don't have
They
that many
do
dings.
start
Hold on, give me
carrying
a
the-
second.
They do start attempting to carry her out.
Okay, the second they step out of the room, I turn around and start searching the glass for the necklace.
All right. As you're searching around with the glass carefully, your hands are getting covered in blood. You are
I'm
able
okay
to,
with
You are able to find the locket,
that. Okay,
or
I
not locket,
will.
the necklace.
The necklace. I will pick it up. I am not going to put it in my pocket. I'm going to leave it very prominently in my hand. We're probably both covered, which are like there's blood on my knees as I'm on my knees. There's blood on my shoes, blood on my hands. This necklace is probably coated in blood. I'm holding
Yep.
a hand crossbow. This is great. This is everything I ever wanted. And she just looks down at herself like, well, on the bright side, everyone's gonna have a wonderful memory of this party. And
Yep, go ahead.
she will. She's actually, you know what? She's just gonna wait in here. One hand holding the necklace out, so it's very prominently seen. Actually, do I have this prepared? I don't. Damn it, I don't.
At this point, you would be
I know.
hearing a loud whistle being blown, as several of the guards start making their way over, seeing the stampeding effect. This now leaves the head of the Dioran home unprotected.
Wait, say that again?
His guards
Our
have
boss
now
is now
left him.
All the guards
boss
are
is-
now addressing the emergent situation. He is unguarded.
Fuck. Well, I can't see that from inside the room, so.
Nope, but everybody else can.
Okay.
Where is he?
They walked right by me and Fennec.
Fennec, he's right near where you are still, but your boss has no protection.
I know. I'm trying to find him on the map.
He's behind you. He's the
Oh,
Ponzi
okay.
kid.
You were just waving at Owen and his wife.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all in the same place.
Everybody on the map looks the same.
Not everyone.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Ioun and our boss look different.
Fennec Fennec sees that he is left alone.
You would see that he's only with Aoun, his wife, and that's it. It's just the three of them right now.
Fennec will move and position himself in front of that area.
Okay.
Still not turning away from them, but not like looking directly at them.
Oh,
And he's standing kind of center of the opening.
what? Have you come to yell at me again and accuse me of things?
I'm here to do my job, so why don't you shut the fuck up and let me do it?
You're going to notice that Horden kind of shoots you a look, as if you're speaking too much.
My job is to stay out of the way.
Because, as a reminder, he did tell you to be secret.
Right. Well,
So we're not going to really walk that back. You did say that, and he is
Yes,
now
nope.
shooting you that dirty look.
nope. It's fully acceptable. I mean, it's Fennec.
Mm-hmm. So, your job, I didn't hire anything. I didn't hire you for anything.
You're right, because I would have never accepted it.
So then what is this job? What was it? And he's going to kind of look over to the wife. Sir Fennec, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're gonna do this again.
Well, you did say it was your job, so how are you here on a job and being a sir at the same time?
I can do two things at once, but it's best to be quiet right now. We gotta let them do their job, and I gotta, stay out of the way.
So stay out of the way somewhere else.
I'm gonna say no,
And
because like you said, you're not my boss.
exactly, and you clearly don't belong here. Look at that suit.
Oh.
Fennec is now going to turn square to him.
It was the O for me.
And I suppose you're going to get me to leave?
Oh no, I was just pointing out that you should be somewhere else, not here.
Yeah, and if I valued your opinion, I'd still be poor.
So then so you're poor. Boy, you are in the wrong social circle.
So remember how I said Fennec can learn Fireball?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Luckily, he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
With that, we're gonna jump over back to
But
Other
I do
people
know he
here.
doesn't know.
and we'll get back to that. So
He doesn't.
Levin-
He's not casting.
that's okay. We'll come back. Levin, you would see the guards moving and heading towards to try to clear out. You see that they are escorting people quickly and basically almost throwing people out of the stairs to prevent somebody from being stampeded. Yami, it will get to you to be also thrown in that capacity. Are you going to be resisting them, kind of attempting to just not throw you as in a violent way, more just throw you in the shuffling you off?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to resist it.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Alrighty then. Regular strength check, not a saving throw, right?
It was a strength check, but I believe you have the same modifier anyway. So with the 21,
Okay.
as they're trying to basically shuffle you off the stairs, you're resisting, which is now causing a backflow in the people who they are able to clear up the area for. This in turn causes some people to start falling off the sides of the banisters. You hear one person going, "My back!" as there's a crack that's heard.
Yeah, I don't give a flying fudge about anybody who's getting hurt as long as I'm trying to make my. I want to try to push my way towards the room to check on the medallion.
Okay. So as you are fighting like a salmon against stream, you are causing other people to be injured.
Yeah, I don't give a flying Hail Mary about them.
Levin, you do see all of this.
Would I have seen anyone covered in blood or has blood on their clothes exiting this room?
Give me a perception check.
Ready? $14.
You would see at the very top of the stairs any individual, not, it's a bit far, and the amount of people make it a bit harder to see, but you do see red on what once was a bright white collared shirt.
Okay, Levin's doing two things.
Yep.
He is pulling Melee over into an alcove immediately.
Okay.
Do you have a weapon?
I believe Saris, did we give her, she has a knife, right?
Yes.
I have a knife.
Tuck in, keep your head down, stab anyone that comes close that isn't one of us. And he's gonna run over towards the other, towards the room.
We just set her up to die.
Fennec approves this.
Okay. Noted. So that's Levin. Levin, you're making your way up. Geoffrey.
Yep.
What would you like to do?
Okay, so Geoffrey saw the guards, rush by him. Did he hear Saris shouting to everyone to get the fuck back or whatever she said?
I'm going to say she didn't necessarily shout. She was just intimidating those that were in view to clear the stairs.
There was a bedlam, a lot of shouting.
Okay.
So, yeah, now everybody's kind of shouting. You have the guards who are kind of shouting, saying, "Let's go, keep moving." You have Yami who's fighting against everybody else. You have these individuals who are falling off over the sides, getting injured, screaming in pain. There's a lot going on right now.
All right. If only I can be two places at once. I'm going to look to Cogfried, and I'm going to make a judgment call based on the command hierarchy here. I'm going to say, Cog, go to priority 4, or go to priority 2. And Cogfried is going to fly over to where Levin is, and I'm going to cast Spider Climb on Levin.
Okay.
And so he's going over here, as close as he can to him, and I'm going this way.
Okay. So, Levin, you are now able to. You now have a climbing speed. What is the duration of that spell?
It's an hour, and it's concentration based. So, from what you see, Levin, as you're walking on to do your thing, Cogfried is kind of. You see Cogfried kind of arc over and swoop towards you, and you feel him. You feel one of his metal paws just kind of tap your shoulder, and you'd be able to feel the magic at that point, I would assume.
in keeping with the cover, Levin's basically going to make a motion to swat it away, but there's no strength behind it. He's basically reaching out for the touch.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
yeah, you have spider climb now. Congratulations.
With that, you do have a climbing speed. Yami, you're still fighting Fennec. Or Saris.
Actually,
as this is all
it's
going
not-
on, you... Sorry, go ahead.
it's not necessarily climbing speed. It's just their base of movement speed, but they can move up and down and across vertical surfaces and upside down along ceilings while leaving their hands free.
That's a climb.
Oh, yeah. So the climb speed is equal to their walking speed. Sorry.
Nah, no worries. Saris, you hear people trying to get to you, but it's like something is fighting against people coming. You hear the people who are outside. We can't get through.
No, I'm gonna let them sort that out. Anything I do is just gonna add to the chaos. Saris takes a step back, folds the hand crossbow back under and tucks it back where it was under her frock coat. And then she is just gonna go down onto her knees, put one hand behind her head, and have the other hand held out with the necklace on it. And she is just gonna wait for the guards to come to take control of the necklace.
Alrighty.
Because she knows what's gonna happen if she's holding the hand crossbow out when they come in. If she's really, really lucky, they will order her to stand down, and if she's unlucky, they will just start shooting and stabbing. So she's just gonna put herself, like I said, in a more submissive position. One hand up and on her head, the other hand out, holding the necklace for them to take. Because she's covered in blood and she knows what it looks like.
Yeah, understandable. All right. So Yami, coming back to you. Go ahead and give me another strength check. Because I'm assuming you're still trying to fight them, right?
Yep, I'm at this point. I was trying to make my way towards the room, into the room. So you said a strength check. Un momento. Jesus, my rolls are tight today.
As you
You're rolling like Geoffrey.
As you finally make your way to the top, you push through the person who is holding this girl by her shoulders. This causes him to lose his grasp, and she drops to the floor. The person who is holding her legs still holding.
So somebody's holding that person's leg, so the guard was trying to stop her.
They were carrying. Two people were holding her. One had her by the shoulders. One had her by the feet.
And you bumped into the one holding her shoulders, and her upper body just went straight down, hitting the floor.
I'm going to. Can I grapple the girl that's there? Everybody else is grabbing, like kind of pick her up, like her scruff her, lift her up, and what the heck are you doing?
You're trying to lift up. Hold on, you're trying to lift up the unconscious woman who was just dropped because you pushed into the person carrying her.
Oh, okay. I thought they were. So they're not. So I thought they were trying to stop her from escaping or something like that.
No, she's the injured lady from the room.
Yeah, Saris told them to get her help.
Oh, so yeah, so
she looks visibly injured, I assume, right?
Okay.
Well, it's safe to say she might have just hit her head on the floor as she was dropped.
So I would be able to see in the room at this point, and I would see Saris obviously doing her crossbow thingy.
No, you would see her on her knees with one hand behind her head holding up the necklace as the guards follow up. One of them immediately grabs you, Yami, and the other goes into the room. What happened?
I'm not entirely sure. There was a woman here who looks like she fell on the display case and was stabbed by some of the blood. I knew a little bit of healing magic and tried to stabilize her, and then instructed the two men in here to carry her to a more qualified healer. And knowing she sort of slowly gestures with her free hand, at the blood on her, knowing what this looks like. I just sort of waited for you.
He's going to hold
To
up a
take
hand,
this.
interrupting you. Wait there.
Yes, sir.
Hey, get this place clear now. As more guards kind of rush in and start pushing people over, they start tending to the girl, who is now bleeding from the head. It's not as substantial as the wound that she had, but it's safe to say that she possibly has, if she's lucky, a concussion. But she's taken off, and she is walked down the stairs. You are being held, Yami, unless you are about to fight the guards from holding you.
Okay, no. So I was gonna try to heal the girl, but seeing that that's all taken care of, I'm gonna like kind of side my Saris, and I'm gonna look at the guards. Is one of the guards trying to detain me? The one that had a quarrel with me.
They are detaining you unless you are fighting.
No. So is one of the ones detaining me the ones that saw me with the hat?
No.
Okay, so then damn. All right, I tried it. So I'm like, all right. Oh, you know what? If you're gonna take me, fine. I'll go with these. But I'm thinking my hat as many times as I can.
What is
before I get
wrong
taken.
with you?
Just know my hat is better than yours. As I whisper.
And that's worth hurting all of these people?
No, it's making sure that the necklace is safe. As I look at Saris, which it looks like it is.
They don't know we're doing this.
Well, I think they kind of got that idea. What one of them did.
You are physically holding it out, though.
Well, Saris is.
Yes, that's Saris. They're still outside. This is just them talking to Yami at this point.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, we're doing our jobs.
Like father, like son.
So your job is to, as we're trying to clear the stairs, fight against it.
As long as that damn necklace is safe, I don't give a rat's ass what the fuck you guys do. Excuse my French.
Get him out of here. And you're going to notice that they are going to start trying to guide you out of away from the stairs. As
fair enough. I won't hesitate.
The officer will then return, or the guard will then return back to Saris inside the room. All right. Recount your story again, now that the chaos out there has been taken care of. To a degree.
Would Levin have had an opportunity to close the distance during this?
Yes, certainly would. So you would be getting there just as Yami is being escorted away from the stairs.
Yeah, goof that.
Saris will do I have to keep holding on to this? And she kind of gestures to the necklace.
I'll take the necklace. And the guard is going to hold out his hand.
Yep, she will freely give it up to the guard. And then that's really the only thing she's going to. She'll still stay on her knees. She'll put both hands on her head. It's all right. It's all right. It's just going to explain what happened.
And he's going to look up and down. You're covered in blood. What happened?
So I heard a crash of glass, and I was concerned. I do know a small bit of healing magic, so I came to see if there was any need for my assistance. I found a woman with several small shards of glass and one particularly large shard of glass puncturing her through. I administered some magical aid and healed her wound as best I could.
Levin's going to turn to the other to the guard that's nearby. Permission to secure my lady? I'm in charge of 2 right now.
All right.
And he's going to point towards the alcove where he has Mei Li.
Okay.
And
you do know that we are going to need you to at least hang around until this young lady wakes up.
Understood, but her safety is my priority.
Of course. We'll hold on to her here. We won't let her leave the area. She'll be safe.
We will not move from that alcove until you come for us.
I return to
would-
my companion and
I
leave this
would
place?
much rather you not parade your lady
What?
covered in blood throughout the
Can
banquet hall as
I have
everybody leaves.
can I have her brought here?
That would be acceptable.
Parading.
What was that, Levin?
No, all right. I'll bring the lady to you.
Thank you. Yeah, and I will. It's like, and I sort of like, do I have to stay here, like on my knees? Can I stand up?
No, you may have a seat.
Excellent.
And he'll motion to a chair if you want to sit.
She will take the chair.
All right, Levin's going to make his way back.
As that's happening, you are going to see Horden kind of stand up and make an appearance. And it's almost as if magically augmented. His voice is going to echo out throughout the hall room area. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we must call the evening for what it is. It was a wonderful event, and I thank you all for coming. Please finish up your drinks and enjoy the rest of your evening. And he's just going to start meandering about socializing, an activity that he does not like to do.
He had to do it sometime.
Fennec, you're alone with those two. What would you like to do?
Somebody. As Horden, the boss, moves, Fennec will use that as a way to get out, and he'll look at Aoun and go. He'll kind of glance over at Horden moving around behind him, and then go, "If you don't mind," and he'll move away, kind of going back into a position where he can see Horden.
As you start walking away, you're going to hear that Aoun does get the last word in. Loud enough that you are able to hear. The stench of poverty is gone. I can breathe clear.
You know whose life I'm gonna make miserable?
Huh?
It's like Sarah. Like, I don't know. Saris doesn't like him to start with, but I feel like Fennec's gonna talk about it, and she's gonna make it her life's goal to make this Aoun, the Oedipus Rex of her life. She's going to destroy this man.
And Fennec hears it.
He said it loud enough for you to hear.
He ignores it.
I think that's the most mature thing I've ever seen Fennec do.
But he ignores it, but he's not going to cast it. But there would be small. Aoun would almost, like, as Fennec's walking away, like, I feel like he'd be close enough that he could almost feel the hairs on the back of his neck or his arms kind of start to stand on end, almost as if it was like a static charge. But
I'd
nothing
say
would happen.
If he feels it, you don't notice it. There is no effect.
Fennec ignores it, but he certainly won't forget it.
That's okay.
Wait, no, I'm saying Aoun would feel kind of like a static.
Unless you're actually casting something, he's not going to be able to feel it. If you would like to cast the spell, that is your prerogative.
I don't think my group members would appreciate me launching a lightning bolt at him.
Because I'm going to say there's no half measures to the spell. Like, as much as
it's
you'd
not
like to
even that
flavor
we would
it,
appreciate or not appreciate it. It's just a really bad idea.
Okay, so I can't even flavor it as like it would almost be like an emotional thing.
He
No,
said
the
it
spell
loud-
does physical damage.
You were already walking away, and he said it loud enough for you to hear. You never got in close enough that if it was within a 5-foot radius, he wouldn't, and even then, you'd have to cast a spell for that to happen.
Okay, fair enough.
So, with that, you are making your way over there. Horden is starting to guide people out. Levin, you are able to sufficiently be able to bring Meili back, and you would be with Saris in that room. Yami,
Alright,
you too are also being escorted out of this hall by the guards.
Yep, I'm compliantly going. I'm just like, all right, whatever. Just following through, like, all right.
So, once back together, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for the area to get clear. After all of the hubbub is gone, you are going to notice that Ruse leaves first.
So he leaves first when it's cleared out?
Yep, so out of the main people here, so out of Horden, the wife, and Aoun leaves.
Sense. Not really a member of the house.
Well, he's part of the party.
He's the party planner. The party's over. There's nothing to plan.
So isn't that telling?
Well, the wife is technically the planner behind everything, but
No,
He's the one
she's just
who
taking the
served.
credit.
Got it. Rendezvous.
So I have a question. When the guard came by to grab the necklace and Saris handed it to him, what did he walk over to our boss and hand it over to him?
Nope, he's still in
Was
the room with Saris. He's just holding on to it because Saris asked if she had to keep holding it and kneeling like that.
All right. Well,
And he had said, no, I'll
Geoff-
take it, but he is waiting for them.
Well, as Aoun is passing Geoffrey's going to look down at him and kind of position himself to obviously like, hey, I'm about to intercept you, buddy. And he's going to step kind of in the way and say, you're leaving so soon. I thought this was your party.
But the party's over. It was quite a wonderful party.
I just figure a good host would want to leave after everyone else is left just to make sure everything goes properly.
Well, I'm the party planner, not the host. The host is over there. And the hostess is
sorry.
still at her seat.
Sorry, I misspoke. The person who planned the party should know how it concludes, should they not? And not everyone's left, so the party's technically not over. It's in the process of leaving, sir.
Well, unfortunately
quite
for you,
content.
I have other parties that I have to plan, so I will bid you adieu. And tell your boss I sent him my warmest regards.
Now, you're not very good at the sarcastic double speak thing. You might want to work on that.
Oh, you thought I was trying. Okay. By the way,
What a dick.
he can't pay you much. He already told us he was poor. So I hope he's a good individual. And that's how he walks off.
How much? As he says that, I'm just going to say loud enough for him to hear, a better one than you, sir. And then kind of turn my attention towards the crowd.
With that, the crowd is dissipating. It is now only the guards who are remaining, the injured woman, you guys, Horden, and his wife. Horden walks up. All right. How did this happen? What happened? As he
Saris.
enters the room.
I mean, she's gonna see like blood everywhere. So, not entirely sure. The
The
I can
necklace
only
is
tell you
okay,
what-
yes?
I'm sorry.
The necklace is okay, yes?
I gesture to the guard.
The guard does give it up. All right, well, at least that. Did anybody die? most
I
importantly...
was
Sorry, go ahead.
I sent someone to get attention, so I don't think they should be dead.
And then my most important question is, you were able to maintain your cover, yes?
I was.
Okay.
Though I did maybe startle some of your guests. I apologize for that.
Startle is one thing. But, as said, I'm hoping that all involved were able to maintain their distance.
You may hear some very outrageous rumors about weapon-wielding elves.
I don't want to know.
I'm just saying, the rumors may float around a little bit.
I don't want to know.
Touché.
But, are you okay?
Oh, it's not my blood.
Oh, okay. Well...
Oh god, the cleaning bill on this suit.
It'll be covered as an incidental.
Covered by who?
It's
Who
alright.
would be responsible for causing that other lady to suffer such an injury? But that is going to take time.
That is the most suspicious thing. I didn't see exactly what happened. Prior
What was your assessment
to the
of her
chaos?
wounds?
Dire. She was going to die here. The curious thing is that she appears to have been shoved onto the case. And the two men didn't seem to be...
Levin's going to look at the amount of blood on the ground. For her to be shoved that hard, do we know the individuals that left the room?
unfamiliar with them.
Apologies. Do you have a guest list for the people that attended tonight?
We do. Unfortunately, it was a masquerade party. So, unless they took their masks off, it may be difficult.
Yes, but anywhere to start is better than nowhere.
I shall have that to you. When would you like it? And you are still able to continue on for...
It would have to happen after our promised work for you.
Wonderful. Well...
Yes, I assume you're still planning to take your vacation.
Oh, that I am. I've spread the rumor sufficiently enough tonight, this evening.
Well,
With that. And he's going to kind of just snap twice, and the guards do circle around him. Now I must put this away. The event that I will be leaving in 2 days' time.
all right. And you want us to return here prior to you leaving?
Yes.
Excellent. Can't wait to walk back covered in blood to the tavern.
Well, try not to make my cleaning bill a little bit higher.
She shrugs.
As he kind of points to your footprints that go around the knee prints and all of that jazz.
It's blood. I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
Levin's gonna start removing his jacket.
Does Geoffrey see any of this?
I'm going to say at this point, everybody is able to freely move. You are able to freely get back to each other.
Geoffrey will walk.
The last thing you would see, though, is that the wife gets up and she does pass by you as well.
Geoffrey will not acknowledge her because he doesn't really care at that point, but he's going to walk over towards Saris, and as she says, she's covered in blood, Geoffrey will approach her and just make a dumb quip. We really have to stop meeting like this, and I'm going to cast Prestidigitation to get rid of the blood.
Just stares at him.
I will start charging you for the dry cleaning.
That's all right. I'm sure you have enough coin for me to lift and pay you with.
Haha. You underestimate how poorly I am, or how poorly I spend my money.
Excellent. Well then, whose fault is it that you don't get paid?
Yours, expressly yours. What?
If you don't have enough money in your coin to cover your own costs when I pay you, that's just tragic.
Paying my own dues? What the hell is this?
Apologies, but are we done with this farce?
I believe
I feel like at
so.
this point,
We ought to be off. Melee, we're headed back.
And with that, you're heading back to the tavern?
Well, actually, we would look to our employers like, would you say do you feel safe in us departing?
He is surrounded by his guards as he's kind of cleaning off the necklace a little bit. He's about to go and return it to the safe that he normally keeps it within. So you are free for the evening.
Mm-hmm. In that case, yeah, at that point, let's be away.
Keeping up appearances then?
I don't know. May as well. Otherwise, what's the point? Cover's only as good as the commitment.
Jacket back on? If you would. And he holds his hand out.
Takes the hand. To be
and starts leading them out.
I'll offer an arm to Melee, and it's like, see you all at the tavern.
She will take your arm. As you leave the area, the last thing that you see is Yami standing outside. Once there's another blow of the whistle, the guard that was with Yami leaves him. Yami, you are free to move around as well. With that, Fennec and Geoffrey, how long is it going to take you to leave after Melee, Saris, and Levin?
give it about 5 minutes before we take off, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And Geoffrey will have taken off his armor and thrown it back in the briefcase. Also taking off his jacket and just like hoisting it over his shoulder. He's kind of done with tonight. All right, let's head over to the Drunk Drake.
And with that, unless there's anything in particular you want to do before you leave, we're just going to time jump ahead to where you are regrouped at the tavern.
All right.
And as you enter the tavern, the melodious sounds of Seth fills the bar.
Well, if it isn't our former patron, how's he looking?
Not too bad. He's looking healthier. He still has the scars. Those seem like a permanent fixture on his dwarvish skin.
Setting. Should we just get a table?
There's enough tables where you can sit unless you want to go straight to bed. I leave that up to you. You guys have a few minutes to roleplay.
Hold on a second. Did you say Seth was a dwarf?
Yes.
He is now.
He was also a dwarf when you rescued him.
Did I know that?
He wasn't a dwarf when we first met him, though.
No,
he was a dwarf when you rescued him from the temple, though.
Right, he's changed, though. His shape is inconsistent, because wasn't he an elf or a human?
Yeah.
When we started hating him for singing the songs, he was not a dwarf.
No.
Unless that's being retconned.
Nope.
So he is now a dwarf.
Yep. And has been since you rescued him.
Rescued, but prior to rescuing him, he was not a dwarf.
Is that a yes or a no?
Yes.
I've only ever known him as a dwarf. Okay, so he's not always been a dwarf.
Not in our experience, no.
Okay. Geoffrey does not know this.
Hmm. Why did I not know that?
I do remember him being a dwarf when we rescued him. I'm kind of surprised he's still a dwarf.
Just racked my brain. Fennec's just gonna like plop in a chair by a fireplace in the tavern.
Okay.
He's
So-
gonna put his feet up.
Well,
Alrighty.
that was an evening. Another glorious night amongst the upper crust. And I can't say how much happier I am to be away.
Remind me never to do that again.
Oh, I will. You are terrible at undercover work.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
I am.
going to
Well,
take a moment.
it's a
and
skill
get
we'll
everyone-
refine. In time, you'll make it much better. But
I'm going to
there might
take a
be some
moment
rough
and get
spots.
everyone around.
Mm-hmm.
So, cheap, potent, expensive. Which of these would you like? And he's just going to look at the group.
Yes. And Fennec will just hold up a finger.
Two of those are directly contradictive.
I'm going to have water. So I guess cheap.
What's gonna keep me from going after that little pipsqueak?
No, what's going to keep you from going out to that individual is the fact that you don't know where he currently is.
Yeah.
What city? No.
And the people that would be available to help you find this individual don't want to tonight.
Don't worry. We'll make a visit.
Okay. So to answer your question, yes.
Yami, Geoffrey,
Something strong, if you would.
I'm assuming Dwarvish.
Preferably, yeah.
Just shakes her
So,
head at Geoffrey.
Lunderog's Bounty, Greensfire Stout.
How do you drink that piss?
Dwarven
Carefully,
ale's the
because
best.
it does organ damage.
If you drink it wrong, yeah. But yeah, Dwarven ale's great. I don't know what you all
Well-
have against it.
I don't have anything against it, it's just not my favor.
That's
I just
But-
want to keep my organs.
And for you, Yami, I'm assuming something strong. Yami, your mic's muted.
You might have stepped out to take another call.
A heads up would have been nice. Alright, continuing on. Two waters, ale for the rest. And for you, a stout. I'll be back.
And with that, you
Well,
are able to get those drinks. Sorry, go ahead, continue.
As not ideally as that went, we technically did our jobs. The necklace wasn't stolen, at least not to our knowledge. But I have some serious gripes with the small little fella that was walking around, that own character. A, I think that he is suspicious as all hell, and B, I'm about 85% certain he's having an affair with the wife.
And one of those is relevant.
Well, they might both be relevant. It might be a case of, he's manipulating someone that he's having a relationship with, or they're in cahoots. I mean, if
And
the necklace
he
does
is-
belong to...
Also
yeah.
insinuated at having met at least one of us, or encountered one of us, or heard about one of us.
Right, I heard, or Fennec had been saying something about that. That seems rather suspicious.
Well, not just about Fennec.
He's not a party planner. It's just his excuse to be there.
No, he's a merchant, which means he usually gets a hold of information as a way of doing business. Which, Saris, you may want to adjust your noble persona for the near future.
Perhaps. I will I will
Take your
make.
time. You'll make do.
Yeah, I'll make the necessary adjustments.
That said, might I have my crossbow back?
So used to it now.
That's the spare, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Really? Wouldn't it be better if I held on to the spare?
It would be better if you procured your own. Last night was an extenuating circumstance.
Fine. Hands it
It's a
over.
hand crossbow. You've certainly got enough money to buy another one.
Correct.
What? Who buys these things? Who pays for a hand crossbow?
Alright, then you've got the means to steal one.
I don't
Saris,
steal.
I know you're not
rude.
an ignorant person, but you've seen what I've done with them, yes?
Sure. Can't really hold two of them, though.
They're hand crossbows, yes you can.
Baldur's Gate.
No, rules is written. Hand crossbows, one-handed ranged weapon.
Yeah, but you can't reload it unless you have a free hand weapon.
Correct. Doesn't mean I can't fire in 2 in 1 round, though.
A freehand weapon?
Even with crossbow expert, you can ignore the loading property, but not the ammunition property.
Yeah.
Unless your artificer grants repeating shot onto it.
Yeah, but
In which case you absolutely
But it just
There
doesn't.
you go.
Mechanically, there's no benefit because you, with 2 hand crossbows in one hand, you can get 3 shots. With crossbow expert, with
If we-
1 hand crossbow in 1 hand only, you still get 3 shots.
Yep.
If the
Unless
artificer did that, we'd literally have John Wick.
The comment's been made before.
So,
There is no mechanical
But-
thing except that you fill both your hands with weapon.
Yeah,
You get rid of her.
but ales are on the table, waters are in front of you and Melee.
So you said that this, shit stain is a merchant, right?
Broca, I would say.
Maybe tomorrow we should pay a visit to his office and plan something.
I mean, sure, but I'm laying 50-50 odds that Aeon's not his real name, and outside of the Diorian complex, he is someone else entirely.
Well, that describes you too.
She smiles a wide Cheshire Cat grin. It does.
That's a frivolity. We have a job.
It's true. Frivolity is most important here. Glad to see our priorities are on check. What's life without a little fun, Levin?
Fennec will look at
Stable.
Fennec will look at Levin and then look over at the apparently now dwarf, and go, he isn't even annoying me tonight. That's how much this other little guy is pissing me off.
Why? He hasn't said anything about you at all.
The bard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we know how Fennec is with the bard.
Fennec just
No, but I'm also being literal. Ever since Saris paid him off, he has deliberately not mentioned anything about you.
Yes, but Fennec doesn't know that.
no, you were there when he sang the song about who rescued him, and they mentioned everybody except.
He's aware that
for
they're not
Fennec.
singing about him, but
Yeah,
Yeah, you're not
doesn't
aware
know
of
that
the
she-
deal. Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep,
so like the whole bias against him, Fennec still has. So if Aeon got to him that bad, the bard isn't even annoying him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good.
With that,
Fennec, are you aware of protocol etiquette with regards to challenging another person in public?
Is he saying that to Fennec?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Fennec's
No,
gonna
why
hold-
would we challenge him in public?
Considering
Fennec's
that
gonna hold up
he,
his hand.
considering
and
that
just-
he stooped to yelling, insinuations of threats, and
Eh.
I'm willing to bet more than once casting a spell has crossed your mind.
More than once.
I actually
I
applaud
thought-
him for his the amount of restraint he showed. I have expected him to cause an incident.
Indeed,
that.
I was fully prepared to watch that man die.
I mean, there's certainly room for criticism, but I believe that the effort should at least be applauded here.
Fennec will look at Levin and just cross his arms, waiting.
I did say room for criticism. You did shout at the man, and that is ultimately what he is trying to get at.
Well, I mean, it's me, and he'll hold up like almost like a fist, not a fist at Levin, but like if he's gonna count. He goes, "You mentioned protocol and etiquette. It's me."
We need to work on that.
You have to
I
learn
own
the
it.
rule. It's better to learn the rules so that you know when to break them and how to break them.
And now that segues that moves us to Geoffrey's point. I showed restraint.
Right, and that was good that you did so, but also you can do better, and you should do better.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. We'll teach you. We'll enhance your abilities for subtlety and blending in. You might not be good at hiding in shadows, but the real value of hiding is knowing where the kinds of camouflage available to you. You have a real potential for social camouflage.
So as you mentioned the hiding in the shadows, he's gonna get this just little tiny grin and just like half or like casually, like almost as if he's just talking out loud, not to anything in particular. Like it's almost like a thought just escaped his brain. Like it's one of those he didn't realize he was saying it out loud. No, I don't play in the shadows. Or I no, what'd you say? Hide in the shadows?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hide in the shadows, but I do like to play with them.
Fair.
What?
Fair.
Fair what?
What you
Me.
said was fair.
Oh.
Oh, he said that to himself. Never mind. I didn't hear.
No, he said it out loud, not knowing he said it out loud. Like it was more of like the not maniacal, but just that like I don't know how to describe it. Well, yeah, like he thought he was saying it inside his head, almost as like a little bit mischievous, and then it came out of his mouth.
You said the quiet part out loud.
Yes, that. Thank you.
Just yeah, she's like, I mean, that's fair, reasonable, but playing with shadows has its place, like everything.
And I intend to go there.
And on that note, I'm figuring we're going to wrap up here for the evening. This has been quite an interesting session today. Saris almost perfectly incriminated herself to get caught.
Yami explicitly incriminated us.
Yep. Fennec did a pretty good job at helping to blow cover.
At least half the party's cover is still intact.
Yeah, Geoffrey wasn't found out yet.
said the least
you were found out because if Fennec blew his cover, he just blew yours.
Ah, yeah, that's true. But Geoffrey didn't do anything.
You didn't do
Super
it, but your cover was blown,
Yeah.
and he let out that you guys were poor.
I remember that.
I am going to punch.
Good to have you back.
this rich-
He never no. He said if he valued what Ayun said he'd be poor.
He'd still be poor, is what you said.
Still be poor, yes.
Did I say still?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said still before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
What? These jerks are too pompous to respect a rags to riches story. Come on.
This is
Yeah.
old money. This is an old money crowd.
Yeah.
This is
Old money.
This is the nepotistic shit that Geoffrey specifically was taught not to do. So
Yes.
it's striking a core.
100%.
There's a reason Fennec hangs with Geoffrey and says certain things.
Whew. For those of you who tuned in for us this evening, thank you for joining us. For those of you who will watch us later on, thank you for joining us. Check us out on Patreon. Help us subscribe. Check out our website. We have merchandise that is always on the rise. And as always, thank you for the support that you guys do give us. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
I know.
9.